How to create operational processes and procedures for a company. Before you start documenting processes and procedures, there is one step that most companies skip. I've built process systems for hundreds of companies, and the starting point is something that people rarely expect. Most process documentation projects fail before they even start. By the end of this video, you will know the step-by-step approach to create operational processes that your team will actually follow. Where do you start with process documentation? Yes, process mapping is the first step in order to create well-documented processes and procedures. But there is a step that comes before that. And that step is assessing why you actually want to engage on this project. Why do you want well-documented processes and procedures? What motivates you to systematize your company? And why do we do that? It's because if you don't have the purpose and you don't understand why you are doing it, you might quit in the middle and not finish the project because it will become too hard, too much, there will be other pressing priorities. Also, if you understand the purpose of why you are documenting, you will approach the documentation a little bit differently each time. For instance, if your why is because you are about to hire 5 new staff members and you need a good system to onboard and train them, then you need to document your processes so you will be able to onboard efficiently. If you are expanding and scaling and you want consistency across all departments of the business, then you will document with that in mind. There might not be a big difference between a good onboarding and training system and documenting your processes so you can achieve consistency. But if you have different purposes, you will also evaluate the success of the project according to those purposes. And that is a key component that I also see that is missing, is to have metrics, to have numbers, to have measurements of success before you even start, because that will tell you if you're actually executing what you intend to execute. So that is always the first step, is understanding why process documentation. What is it that we want to achieve? Why is it so important? And if you have that why, if you have that purpose, then it's easier to keep an eye on the mountain, on your goal, on the final result. And despite other urgencies, other priorities, other things that can come in, you will continue with this project to a complete done. So once you understand that, then the first step will be to map your processes. What does that mean? It doesn't have to be complex. It can be very simple. Take some sticky notes. You can use the wall. You can use actual sticky notes on a wall or a whiteboard, or you can use any of the many tools that exist out there, such as Miro.com or Figma, and you create a whiteboard on your computer with sticky notes. So name the names of the departments or the sections of your organization. You probably have accounting, marketing, business development, sales, your operations, whatever you do. So it might be fulfillment, it might be installation. Just take a look at how your organization is being divided. What is it being divided to? And then create a sticky note for each one of those. And then under it, create sticky notes for the main processes that exist in that department or that section to fulfill the purpose of that section. So you start from beginning to end. So let's take an example, for instance, sales. So under sales, you will have lead intake. You will have some kind of an assessment, a needs assessment, or estimating, or inspection, or whatever it is in order for you to gather the information in order to qualify the lead. Or maybe you have a pre-qualifier and then you do whatever you need to do in order to qualify the lead and see if you both have the same needs and you both are aligned and it is a good client or customer for you. Then there is the proposal stage where you will write a proposal, and then there will be the presentation of the proposal, follow-up, close, etc. So that's a simplistic sales process, but that's what you're going to write in each one of those sticky notes. Then you look at the entire picture and you ask yourself, where should I start? What area of the company, if you had right now well-documented processes and procedures, will get you the biggest return on investment? And that's where you will start. It might be those processes that you constantly repeat. It might be those that you are being asked the most questions about. It might be those processes that you are getting right now somebody there to a new person that you need to train. Those are all valid reasons, and you need to know where to start, and that will be where you will start. And of course, if everything seems that it has the same importance, then start from the beginning and document through until the end. So when you're documenting, avoid overcomplication. We're not looking for 700-page SOPs. We're looking for SOPs that are simple to follow, that people will understand, simple language. And again, that's why your why is so important. If you are creating SOPs so you can train new people, read the SOP as if though you are a new person and ask yourself, can I be trained if I read it? Can I understand it? Maybe there is some jargon here or some words, or I'm referring to certain files that I didn't specify in the SOP that a new person will never know about. So I better change it with that in mind. So you got to have the role that you are writing for, the audience that you are writing for. And if you're thinking, well, that sounds like marketing, I have to write to a specific person, that's exactly right. You are writing to a very specific audience. That's why you need to know who your audience is. And again, it can be the entire team in your company, which is totally fine, but you know your team, and you will know if what you are doing is going to help them understand what they need to be doing. So we talked about process mapping, we talked about documentation. When you're documenting, as I said, avoid overcomplication, but also utilize all the methods that people learn. Nowadays, audio and video are very important. And one of the things that we like to do is to use AI tools to create the video. So it can be a video in your voice, but when you use the AI tools to create a video or to read what you already wrote, then if there are changes, all it takes is change part of the script, and there you go, the video is still valid. As you're documenting your processes, you will see opportunities for optimization. And when you see that, then go ahead and optimize the process. Now here's a word of caution. Don't change everything at once. And also have it very well justified why you want to change. Why you want to make that change, and what result are you expecting because of the change. If you have that well identified, then when you optimize and change, you will be able to monitor it against the results that you want and understand if this is a good change or not. And in that case, you better have the old way documented so you can go back to the old way, because at least you know the results that you can get with the old way. So then if the new change doesn't work, then you will need to take the old way and change it in another way in order to accomplish the results that you want to accomplish. And the last part is implementation. And that's the most important part, because writing SOPs, writing processes and procedures and policies for the sake of writing will not accomplish anything. You got to make sure that those written processes and procedures are being implemented, are being utilized, are being part of the day-to-day activity of your company. In the next video, I'm going to walk you through how to ensure that those processes are actually being followed. So make sure to watch it, and also subscribe to my channel so you can watch the rest of the videos about how to systematize and optimize your business.